So, hi guys, welcome to this Exploring PhD, a fully paid PhD in Germany. I have with me my co-host Shivam. Shivam Savan is based in Austria, and he's one of our experts. He leads a team of PhD experts, and we do believe we will be able to help you with PhD if you have a topic of interest to Europe, right? So we are going to talk about all the things that are possible when you come and do a PhD in a country like Germany or the EU, because all the PhDs that happen are sometimes at a EU level kind of a research. So it's possible that you might get placed in Italy or you might get placed in France, right? So we are going to talk about it. I'm going to share my screen now and yeah, and take you through the PhD journey of Germany. Can you please confirm that you can hear and see us? Can you see the screen? And
I,
you can,
I
right?
can see the
Okay,
screen, yeah.
great. Okay. So my name is Priya Rao, and I'm from India. I moved to Germany 7 years ago, and in this last 7 years of being in this country, I have moved a lot of students into this side of the world where I worked with universities. I brought a lot of students from India, different parts of the world. Um, so far, I have brought more than 700 students into Germany for higher education. So, whether it was for bachelor's or for master's, and very recently, almost a year and a half ago, I connected with Shivam, who is on the call with us today, and he's an expert and he has a team of people that he's working with. So, he's based in Austria as a student himself, as a PhD graduate himself, and so we are working together to help more and more students to now consider coming to this side of the world for PhD, right? So we are going to talk about all the positives that are possible when you think of doing a PhD in this side, and what are the things that you can do, and maybe you are simply just getting started and you are considering a PhD in your life, or maybe you are somebody who have tried a lot and not able to crack this market. So I can tell you with a lot of confidence that we will be able to get you here in as much as or as much as, yes, 6 months time. If you do it well, you will be able to make it to Germany. So um, so yes, we will also, as part of this, because all of you who are attending here, usually it's a paid session, but for those of you who are attending this webinar, we are going to give you a free preliminary topic assessment, and we can also have a one-on-one call. So we will organize that for you if any one of you is interested to take the discussion forward and understand, and to understand what it's all about. So okay, so let me introduce Shivam to you. Shivam is somebody who is currently pursuing his PhD as well. He's working with he's working on quantum networks at University of Innsbruck in Austria. And he's doing a lot of tech stuff, right? So a lot of physics and a lot of stuff goes into that. Not that I'm very technical, but maybe I will let Shivam do the honors. And Shivam, why don't you tell us what you do in your quantum physics? I'm sure I will not be even able to touch the topic a little dot also with the work you must be doing. So please tell us about yourself and what you're doing.
Uh, Hi everyone, I am Shivam, and as Priya introduced, and I am currently based in Innsbruck, Austria, and I am working on this particular thing, although this is not what I am working on exactly, but in order to say to the public, I say this because this is the domain where I am working in, and I am working in this is a the field in physics. Although physics is not only used, different expertises in different kind of areas are also required, and those are always helpful. So I am working in that, and beside that, I am helping Priya in guiding students so that they can come in this STEM doctoral programs across Europe. And the reason is very simple. The reason is that Europe has a lot of points which, yeah, which when you know or if you know, is a very favorable environment for research, and that is what we do. I help Priya in doing that, and so I basically help students one to one in supporting and navigating through their PhD application. And thereafter in the PhD journey as well. So yes, that's me.
Mhm. Thank you, Shivam, and thank you for taking time out on a Saturday. I know it's very, very precious when you come to this side of the world. You are going to see that how valuable Saturdays and Sundays become, and you will realize that nobody troubles you also after your
Mm.
working hours. So,
Yeah,
thank
that is actually a good thing. Like
yes,
talking about this part of the world, the work and the life balance is very, very clear, and there is clear
yes,
boundary, and
yes.
no one would bother you on your weekend. No one would even message you on weekend.
Message you
And
also.
yeah.
Yes. So there are no WhatsApp messages of Airtel and Vodafone coming to you. So even the companies are not allowed to cross the
Mm.
timelines of connecting with you. So that is the most amazing part of EU, and you will realize it. You know, it's something you aspire for in your normal day in India, countries like India, where there's no stop to that. So let us talk about why you should consider Germany or the EU for doing a PhD. You know, so uh, first of all, like we spoke about, higher education. That I'm bringing a lot of students from India, from Africa, from the US, from even from UK and Australia, where people are not happy with whatever they are studying and they want to come to explore Germany as a market for higher education. And it has been my first hand experience having worked with multiple universities. I also teach at a university here in Germany right now. Um, the education system is literally world class. So I won't say as much for a private university, but for public universities where usually a PhD would be a part of a public university undertaking. Public universities in Germany, you can literally study for zero tuition fees in countries like Germany and even other countries within the EU, but there are very select countries which give free education. So these are universities where a lot of money, a lot of research funding goes into these universities, and the whole education system is literally world class. Now you will say, you might hear about university names that you have never heard about before. Why? Because Germany does not market its higher education system, simply because the education system is free. When you come and study in top universities like even a TU Munich, you will be studying for really minimum fees. That's only one of the only universities which is charging some fee. But then, if you go into any of the other public universities in Germany, you will literally be paying a zero tuition fees. So that's a big lucrative part, right? So for anybody who's considering, and it is possible some of you in the audience are maybe in a master's degree right now and considering a PhD. If you are somebody who doesn't get selected for doing a PhD in the EU, then you are somebody who can also consider doing another masters when you come here, because that gives you a full immersion into understanding how this country works. So I personally had completed few masters, and I did my fourth masters in Germany, and it helped me to immerse into this culture so much better, because I really understood what is it that the country needs and how I need to get into the job market, right? So that is also something you guys can consider. There are financial benefits if you come into countries like Germany, where one is the low tuition fees, sometimes as low as only 300 euros for every 6 months, or a maximum of around 3 lakh euros for that one university I spoke about, TUM. You might be as a master's graduate student, you might be looking at around 6 lakh rupees per semester. That is the highest, but 95% of universities you will get to study for free. That's one part. The second part is when you come to Germany, the amount that you need to show in your bank account, like as a student, not as a PhD graduate or PhD candidate. When you come here as a student, you have to show only 12 lakh rupees in your amount, in your bank account, to show that that is enough for you for your sustenance, because Germany doesn't need your property bank balance and how much property you have. When you go to the US, they ask you all of that. You have to submit 3 years of tax returns in countries like Canada and the US. Germany doesn't have time for that, honestly. So as per a normal calculation, so even if you come as a PhD, you don't need that blocked bank account, but you will require a minimum of, just for your analysis and calculation, around 12 lakh rupees of expenses, which a PhD research would cover. And we are going to talk about that. Secondly, Lastly, in career advancement, when you come and do a PhD in, in the EU, uh, after the PhD, you might go further into research. That's also a possibility. You can also join universities as a professor after completing a PhD. A minimum PhD professor can, walk away with at least 80,000 euros of salary, um, when doing after a PhD as a professor of a university. Shivam, correct me if I'm wrong. At least this is what I know, that somebody who's a professor can easily earn 80,000 euros as a starting salary, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So, yes, and Europe heavily invests in a lot of research. So, a lot of research that you will be doing could be research funding which has been received by a company. It could be in coordination with a university. And when you do a research in Germany or the EU, you are not doing. You are not working. So your PhD is considered to be work. This is a confusion many times people have when they are attending our sessions and they want to know. Germany alone at this point of time offers 28,000 doctoral degrees annually. And this is a very high growing number because now we have so many new sectors like the green energy, the green technology, artificial intelligence is coming in. So these are mega trends happening, right? So uh, Germany is going very heavy on investments in this side for research and development. So if you are somebody looking at this, then this could be a very, very good time for you to consider EU for your PhDs. So these are some of the types of PhDs, and I would let Shivam handle this part because this is more technical.
Yep.
Shivam, please.
So the you might be knowing, if you are familiar with PhD programs, it usually is like, you might have heard about the structured PhD programs, which usually happen in US, even in UK, and in also in India. But there here we also have this individual doctoral research, which means that you do not only go through this structured program. By structured PhD program, I mean like just like you enroll in master, you apply with the application, and then you get the acceptance, and then you go to the class and do all the coursework and get the grades and pass it. So one is that, but here definitely, since it is a PhD program, so there will be fixed curriculum. So maybe you would be required to do some coursework, and you would be part of a graduate school where you need to do the experiments, which or a theory which are considered in your PhD. But there is also another way, which is individual doctoral research, and here you do not need to just apply through the application. You can also be in touch with the professors, and the professor, if they find your application or your profile to be apt for their research, they can accept you into their program or into their group. And later on, you can be enrolled in all the like university, so that you get the degree and stuff. But actually, this individual doctoral research is very apparent here in this part of world. The reason is because there are a lot of funds in research, and not only university get the research funding, but individual professors also get the research fundings. So both together, the aim is same, the way is different, and we touch both of them, both this structured PhD program and individual doctoral research. And the aim is again the same. They want the research out of you, and you will be getting the fund in both of them. And there is no difference, that just the bureaucracy or admin work is different. That is it.
And I also want to add here that when we are going to get you for a PhD into EU, so we are not going to get you into a PhD where you have to spend money. Okay, so you will be paid a salary, like it's called, it is going to be a salary. So when you come into Germany, let's say for doing a PhD, so you will be coming here on a work visa, guys. So you're not coming here as a student. Many times I have students asking me, candidates who are interested in PhD, how much money do I have to show in the bank? How much money will I be spending? You are not spending anything. You will earn from day one of moving in here. There are PhDs possible when you go into a private university. There are PhD programs now sprouting all across EU and especially in Germany. We are not getting you into that. We are getting into you into paid PhD programs where you will get a salary, could be ranging between 1800 euros per month to as much as 4000 euros per month. Like I told you in the previous slide, you don't need more than 12,000 euros for your survival in this country. So if, let's say, you are somebody with previous years of working experience, assuming you have, let's say, 5 6 years of working experience in some kind of a research field, or you have been into some kind of an academic field for the last few years, you might walk away with a 4000 euro kind of a salary per month, where when it's a 4000 euro, you automatically have a blue card. And blue card is a kind of work visa status that allows you to come into the country with uh, on a paid basis. So it's basically a work visa that you are going to come into, the country with. So and we will only help you with paid PhD programs. So that means you will have a salary going for you as little as 1800 euros, which is around 1.8 lakhs, and in Indian rupees, or as much as 4000 euros, which is around 4 lakh rupees if you are from India, and to do a calculation for you. So, what is the eligibility criteria for you to, apply for a PhD? It's a little complex process. So, one part is that you should have, of course, completed a master's degree. It's important, but there are other parts that we will look at your CV as well. So, there is a certain way in which we will do the whole selection process for you. We also want to see that you're not somebody who has had a robust corporate career, let's say 17 years, 20 years, and now you want to do a PhD. It could be very, very difficult if you have only been in a job and now you want to do some kind of a research. But still, if you are somebody who has been in academics all along, let's say you are just graduating out of masters and you want to now simply hop into a PhD, that's something which is possible. It is also possible that we recently have a candidate that she's an existing a junior scientist in one of the companies. So if you are already a scientist, you're doing some kind of a research work in your ongoing job, then also getting considered for a PhD is much easier, much faster. However, we would like to have a look at your CV if to do the first screening process. And once we have received it, for all of you who are attending the event today, we will do a free one-on-one consultation where we will exactly tell you if you are the right fit for a PhD. And if you don't get that, that's a possibility. Your CV and your idea might get shot down. It happens all the time, right, in research. So the person you will be working with also, who would be shooting down your ideas many times, you go backwards and forwards with your topics and research proposals. So but yes, we will guide you all along. If required and you have to come and do a master's, for example, then we will be able to help you with that as well. So we also require a research proposal from your side. If you are somebody who is already thinking of a PhD or has a topic already in mind, and you already have some kind of a research proposal, well and good, then you please share that with us as well. But if you are somebody who is just thinking about doing a PhD, you are not sure, maybe you know the topic and you don't know what has to be done, that is also a perfectly fine point, because it gives us freedom to, craft it and, develop your whole research proposal also. So when you come into Germany for your PhD, from a language perspective, you don't have to do German level at all. You will be only doing your research in purely English as a language, and you need to, of course, have high level of the English language to conduct research. But there could be very rarely some universities. Might ask you to do some level of German, if maybe an A1 A2 level of German. It is not something it is required all the time, but 100% of the times you require high level of the English. Many times people ask that, do I need IELTS or something? You don't need IELTS at the time of application for a PhD. You might be required to show your English proficiency around the time that you get started in your PhD, because you might be getting associated with the university and the university might require some documentation to prove your candidature. Okay, so we also help you with a supervisor match. I want to talk about this supervisor match from the perspective that if you have a topic, if you have some kind of a research proposal already in place, okay, and you don't know how to how to get started for doing a research in EU, but you have an idea what is a kind of companies which are doing this kind of a research and you want to get into that, then we can also help you. If you give us that idea that what line of research you want to do, then we can find those necessary supervisors for you across the board here. And I know this with a lot of confidence. We are already working with Shivam on many, many other research candidates. We have seen almost 150 new, supervisor matches done for candidates. So I want to tell you, there will never be a shortage of the kind of supervisors that you can work with. But this whole selection process and application process is very intense, and you will be required to be present, guys. So you will be really required to be participating all along to make this happen. This is a both-way process. Shivam, do you want to add anything here?
In the eligibility criteria, the key takeaways, I will just do the key takeaways, and those are like, if you have done your masters, any form of masters, it would be good that if you have done it in the same subject, because other than that we do not know how to match that thing. But there are specifics where um, expertise or master's degree in some field can also help in others, and those are usually done, since 4 year undergraduate is already a thing in some private university, also started in some public university. So you can also have that equivalent 4 year undergraduate. You are identified, or you are those will be identified here for the research proposal. If you have something in your mind that, okay, I was working with let's say optics, and I like the how it goes, and what are the experiments or something, some kind of like rough idea also helps us that what would be a good fit. um, Language proficiency, as Priya told, that it is not really required, but German proficiency is a good thing. Like, if you, I mean, not survive, I would not say as harsh as survive. You can always survive with English. I know people who have been here like for 6 years and never learned German. They just know Guten Morgen and Guten Abend. That works. But since you are in this country and you will go through a lot of things, so knowing German prior is a good thing, but English is sufficient if that is carried. And supervisor match, just leave it to us. We will find you the supervisor. Those are our expertise, and we will help you in that. Other three things are, as we told, those are only required, and we
Yeah.
can help in other part. That is what we
Also,
are here
yes.
for.
Also, if you want to do German and you are interested to get started, and I always say this to the students I bring in for bachelor's or master's. Usually, this is not an instruction for PhD candidates, but if you are thinking of Germany, if you started thinking of Germany today, you should have started the German language yesterday. So, it's always a good idea whenever you are especially in the EU, if let's say you get a PhD in France, you will be required to know to survive, to thrive, not survive like Shivam also corrected, to thrive and do well in these countries. If you go to the Italy, you need to know Italian. If you go to Spain, you need to know Spanish to do well, to get accepted into the job market. But generally, from a PhD standpoint, your PhD is going to range anything between minimum of 2 years to as much as 5 years. So at least those 5 years you are 100% secure, where you will be getting a salary every month, and you will be conducting a PhD purely in English environment. So that's not a problem, right? So how does the whole application process work as step by step? So we help you define your research topic. If you have a topic already in place, we are happy to have a look at it and maybe tweak it. Maybe you have the right kind of a topic which is in high demand in the European region. So we can definitely help you with that, and we can develop a clear research question with this topic for you. We can help you prepare your documents. So there are multiple times that we come across students who say that, I know how to apply for my PhD, I just don't know how to prepare the documents for EU. So this is very, very important, right? So when you are applying so the PhD which is done in India or another part of the world is very different from a PhD that will be done in a bespoke market like European Union, right? So there is a certain way in which they expect documents to be. There's a certain way in which they will expect your CV to be. It will be very wordy, a lot of words, but they will be really keywords. There are no frills in a CV of a PhD candidate. So, but we can help you with that. So if you say no, I will figure out how to do the application, but just help me with my documents. We can also, like a piecemeal as part of this entire process, we can only also help you with your document preparation alone. That is also a separate package. We will, so anybody who's interested, we can talk about it later. And then, of course, if you are going through that whole process, then we will help you with finding a supervisor. Just like you need to train your AI as to how you think, you need to train us as to what is the kind of line of work that you want to go into. Because if you come and tell us that I want to do a research in physics, for example, okay, which is Shivam's favorite topic. So if you say just physics, then it's a huge book. It's a book full of many many chapters. You'll have to go deeper down into your physics per se, and tell us exactly what is that particular topic within the physics is that you want to do. So the more narrowed down your research is, the more possible it is for us to find you the right kind of professors, supervisors for this. And then once your documentation is ready, the documentation process of working your CV, tailoring your CV, creating your statement of purpose and your research proposal, this entire process takes anything between 40 days to as much as, let's say, 2 full months. It depends on you. If you do it on a timely basis, we can wrap it up in as early as even 1 month's time, right? So it depends on individual candidate. Sometimes the candidates get started with a lot of energy and then suddenly fizzles out after a few days. So it is up to you. If you take it up and do this can be the whole process of bringing you from your home country into Germany will not take more than 6 months. So that is including your visa wait time and everything. And then we start your application process based on that. After the 2 months is completed with your documentation, we start your application process. Usually at the end of 2 months, when the applications have already begun, you will start getting interviews already. So once your interviews are going on with different professors across the European Union, so we had a student who was recently interviewed in Milan. There was another student who was recently interviewed in France, right? So this will keep happening depending on where you might be located. So it's a possibility. And then once your PhD has been granted, then you can relocate and start. And I want to say this for people who get a PhD in and a fully funded PhD, then your visa will not be more than a month of time. You can bring your entire family along with. When you do a PhD in this side of the world, you can get your spouse and even children, up to two children, along with your PhD. So coming on a research visa is considered to be elite status. And I want to say this because I bring a lot of students. So there are different types of visas with which you can enter Germany or enter the EU, right? So the first, like, one of the levels is being a student. But I know one thing, that when you come in as a researcher, you are almost like next in line in the priority of visas after a diplomat. So researchers are really treated like God, and Shivam, you can endorse this if I'm saying it correctly. um, Researchers are really looked up to. They are hungry. They are hungry for researchers in this side. And I would like to encourage you, if it is even remotely a thing in your mind and you want to go into research, then do consider EU. This might be a game changer for your career. It's a great place to be. And so what are the kind of documents we can help you prepare? We can help you with your entire academic CV. And I want to say this, Shivam, who is on the call, who uh, he can make a CV for you. He can build a CV with you, and which can. So I have seen that Shivam has scored 18 and a half points out of 20 in a university like TU Munich. Guys, this is a really, really big achievement. Okay, so to be able to get 18 and a half points from a top technical university of Germany, it is number one university in the country. And if they can give 18 and a half points for a CV that Shivam had made, I want to tell you that he really knows what has to be done. So he will be able to build that academic CV, which will be so precise with the right kind of keywords to get you into these the ATS softwares. So in Europe, and I think many other parts of the world as well, there is a software called ATS, and ATS does the screening of documentation. Now when you are applying into countries like, for work in research fields, this ATS has been trained in very high quality fine research, right? So if your CV is made in a very casual way, which you will never know it's right or wrong, and it goes through the ATS would be rejecting you, and you would get a rejection email. It might not even get to the person or the supervisor that you were thinking that it had to get to. So we will help you in building those keywords, and maybe Shivam, towards the end of the call, you can also share how what kind of a CV and what kind of a, SOP that you create, right? So it will be good to see that sample. We can show it to them, and we will help you with your statement of purpose as well, how to make your entire case compelling enough, and we help you with your research proposal. If you already have an existing research proposal or a research that you conducted during your masters, then we will be able to build on it if that's the same topic that you want to continue. But if you have something else, even then we will be able to help you tweak it. And then of course, once these documents are ready, then it is and you educate us that what is the kind of research that you want to do, we will be able to match you to the right kind of supervisors, and we will also guide you as to how you need to make that outreach. How is it that you are going to connect with these supervisors, and how strategically you need to write those emails when you're writing out to these people. So we can do all of this as a piecemeal, excluding the supervisor part. If you just want to, if you just want help with the documentation process, but if you say that no, I want to get started and move to EU for PhD, let's say by April next year or May next year, then this is a very, very good time to get started. So Workpunkt is a company that I started last year, and this was a conscious decision to set up a company because I saw a lot of students, which is my core work. So I bring students into Germany for higher education. This was one thing I found, that there are a lot of agents in the market who are wrongly advising people about Germany as a destination. And it was because I'm here, I have seen what's happening here. So I chose Workpunkt, and I choose to set it up so that I can accurately guide the students into this space. And now that we are doing PhD, I want to tell you, we are in no hurry to get candidates who are in a who are not interested in doing this correctly. And if you have a research, and it's very, very possible that your application might get completely shot down if it's not a topic that we can help you with. We don't lie, and we are very, very genuine about what we are doing. Only if your topic is of interest to the EU, and only if we feel that your entire candidature is something we can really help you with, only then we will give you a go ahead. So it's, you might not, all of you might not get selected for the PhD process. So I want to tell you that it's a very, very strong possibility. Tell us what you want to do, and we can help you set it up. And my company, Workpunkt, we have the German expertise. We are here. We will be able to help you completely understand about this side of the world and how the world works here. We have a large network of universities. I personally have direct contracts with 17 universities in Germany, where we bring for higher education. For PhDs, Shivam is the expert here, and he has access to a whole the research cohort, the research ecosystem of European Union. And having seen the way he has guided the students in the past, and the kind of number of university or supervisors that he is able to assign to these candidates, almost 100, I can only say that we are really, really strong in this space, and we can help you with personalized matching. At Workpunkt, we also have now introduced artificial intelligence into our selection process. So we will be able to accurately match you to the right kind of programs. If you were to study a master's, let's say, if you decide that you want to do a master's, maybe you are a bachelor student and you don't know how to do a master's and then get into the PhD, we can also help you like that. And then I say this ethical guidance because we might not take your application. It's not everybody who attends our PhD session or reaches out to us for PhD gets to work with us, because we will not give you rosy picture if it's not rosy. Okay, so moving abroad is a very big skill it's a very big learning which will come your way, and we will do it correctly with you. And also, I want to say, as an important initiative, small but important, we plant 5 trees for every student who is recruited, or every candidate who comes on board and get started with us. So far, as a company, we have planted 600 trees. This year marks our 600 trees that we have planted, and we will only grow from here. So because we are using a lot of artificial intelligence, we want to make sure that we are consciously contributing to the climate as well, right? So what happens after this webinar gets over? We will first do a free assessment call for any one of you who's interested to simply explore that option. Now, you are maybe a bachelor student, or you are already somebody who's about to complete your master's, or you have completed your master's and you are contemplating, or maybe you have done some kind of a work, you are in a working environment and you want to go back to the books and start learning. We can do that full assessment. It will be a 30-minute session that we will have to request Shivam to give us that time. So you will connect with me, connect with us, reach out to us. Then we are going to look at your you will have to send us your CV, and if you already have a little topic that you want to research on, and uh, it's something that you want to really do research on, so share that with us. We will be able to do a little evaluation. We will first have a look at your CV, and only then will we be able to schedule a call. Usually, having worked with Shivam now, I see that he shoots down more applications than he accepts. So, because he knows who can really come and do the research. So, please send us your CV. We will do that screening and come back to you. If we feel this is good, then we will have a one-on-one call with you, and then we are going to do a compatibility check and find out if this is what is required in the EU, and that's the kind of topic that EU is seeking and researchers being sought in this place. And then we start with the whole application process for you, and the whole thing, right? So we can, when you have that one-on-one call with us, we can explain how much it costs, how this whole process is going to be. Remember, you're not coming, while you are coming here for study and research, you will be paid for doing that research. So you're not coming in here as a student. Many times people have questions around whatever I have written on the screen as FAQs. Many people think that you need to know German at the start. No, you don't need to know German or any language. You will be doing your PhD in purely English taught research environment. um, there could be some universities, like I said, towards after you have been selected, they might ask you for an IELTS, but it is not a mandatory requirement at the start of the whole process, right? So we will guide you, and it is case to case basis. They might ask for an IELTS, but not all the time. People also ask that when I'm coming on a PhD, will I be allowed to work? Now you are doing PhD. PhD in EU is considered to be work itself. That is the job that you're coming for. Interesting, right? You are only going to be doing research and studying. I wish somebody would sponsor me to do that. I would just do that. So you will have, so the work permission itself, you will be working 40 hours a week, and this will be 40 hours of research. Very rarely in some of the researches in this EU and Germany, there is a possibility that sometimes out of those 40 hours, you could be assisting a professor, maybe your supervisor, for a 20-hour, up to 20 hours of teaching work within that university if you are assigned to a university. But somebody like Shivam, who's here with us on the call, he doesn't do any kind of a teaching. He's only doing 40 hours of hardcore, pure research. Okay, so and also people, so if you come in here as a student, the student visa, if you were to come on a bachelor's program or a master's study, then you there will be limitation of your work. You can only work for 20 hours a week. So it is either 120 full working days, so which is 8 hours a day, or it could be 240 half days, uh, 4 hours a day, and 4 hours and below. So, but this is only applicable for students and not for PhD candidates. Okay, so now family options. Many times you have come to that stage in your life that you have been doing studies, or you have been in a job, or you have you want to come to a point that you want to go back to the books and restart your career maybe, or you want to go deeper into a research. If you come here as a PhD graduate, like I said, a researcher is considered to be god in these sides of the world. You will be really treated like god. uh, you will get everything very, very fast. Your visa will be within 1 month time. A student could be waiting for 8 months. Visa wait times are really crazy in India. As a researcher, you will get your visa and your family's visa within a month's time, a month to 2 months time. Yes, you can bring your spouse and family. You can get up to 2 kids, and the whole documentation will also be done. And we will help you with all of that. As my company Workpunct, we will be able to help you with all of those processes. As a researcher, you will also get a PR very fast. You will also get citizenship very fast of Germany. If I were to talk about Germany, usually a researcher in Germany can get a PhD after doing the PhD can get citizenship within 3 years of being here. So that is one of the biggest advantages of doing PhD here. And what happens if,
I have something to add here.
please, please.
So, two, three corrections. The
Okay.
first correction is, I mean, personally for me, okay, I am not in Germany, I am in Austria, but I got my visa in 3 days.
Wow. Okay.
And
So
a
that's better.
friend of a friend of mine who is in Germany and other friends, they usually get in like maximum of 10 days. So
Wow.
since you are on a work visa and this is work visa D category in a researcher category, so you are actually very much in priority, so they do not like keep you in wait line or something. One thing is that, and the second thing is that if you are looking for a PR, so personally saying in Germany it is for 5 years, which means at the toward the end of your PhD you can apply for your PR.
Yes.
And for me also, in after 4 years or like toward the end of my PhD, I can apply for PR if I want. So it is not like for others, yes, they wait for like more than us. But for researcher, since you are contributing to science, you can apply toward the end of your PhD. And there are exemption which I know, and that actually allowed someone to apply at toward the end of like 3 years of their stay. So that those
Yes.
are also possible.
Yes, I actually was coming from there because I know few PhD researchers who were in my university. They completed their PhD in 3 years' time and they were given the citizenship. So they
Yeah.
got that option. But of course, you have to complete your PhD as well. But then, as a researcher, you will be considered, you will be prioritized over every other candidate in the market. So but that is very interesting. In 3 days, you got your visa. That should already tell you. So I like the correction. It's not 1 month, so it is going to be 3 days to 10 days. That's amazing. That you can get a visa. So if you are somebody who is ready to start this entire journey of exploring your possibilities of doing a PhD, and we are not promising anything that PhD is possible for everyone, but we would love to have a look at what is it that you want to do a research on. You can scan the QR code online and just send us your expression of interest that you are interested, and then maybe somebody from my team is going to get in touch with you and schedule a meeting for you. And before you do that meeting, it will be great if we can have a look at your CV in whatever form it is right now, and a rough idea of what is it that you want to study, and what is it that you want to research on. That is already good for us. So share that information with us, and we can schedule a one-to-one call for you so that we can do a profile check and be sure that you are somebody who can come here. So if there is any question, I'm happy to answer them. You can put it in the chat. Um, there are some questions in the chat. Okay.
No, Abhishek, we are not German citizens. I do not know about Priya, but I am
I have
definitely.
applied. I should be getting it anytime now. I have a PR. I have a permanent residency already. Yeah,
Oh,
there has been a
definitely.
little wait time last few days, and people are
So
fighting with the government to give.
PR means permanent residence, right?
Yes, 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 permanent
And
residency.
RP is different, right? Residence permit.
Residence permit is you get when you enter the country, right?
Yeah.
So, but PR is something. So just for people to understand this journey, if you come into Germany for higher education, or you come here for work, either ways, if you have worked for at least 24 months, that means you have paid 24 times taxes to the state, monthly taxes to the state through your salary. You are immediately eligible for PR. Now, if you come as a student, let's say you come in here as a master's student, like I did, I completed my 1 year of master's. I did 2 years of full time working, so it should be 40 hours a week contract. After that, I'm immediately eligible for PR. So I got my PR almost 3 years ago or something. There could be a little wait time of the first appointment for your PR. For you to get the PR in Germany, you need to have B1 level of the German language. It's very, very important, but that is something you can also plan after you have got in here. Okay, so and usually in Germany, citizenship, you are eligible for citizenship after all of these permutations, combinations, right? So 24 months of full working and you have completed 5 years of living in Germany is when you can apply for citizenship. Citizenship could have a little wait time, but it is still not 20 years like the US, right? People have been living in US for 20 years and they are still waiting for green card. So no, that's not a problem here, so it's possible. So I'm looking at some of the questions. Living in Germany, interested for PhD. I did my master's in green economy and sustainable development. Okay. Yes, Bibi will be happy to have a look at your CV. This is green economy and sustainability is a hot topic in EU. So you are in the right space at the right time. You're already here, so you know what I'm talking about. So please send us your CV. We will be happy to have a look and maybe schedule a call with you soon after once we have seen your CV. And okay, Abhishek was asking for a German citizen. Um, Abhishek, there will be an OCI. So, if you are coming in from India, you have to give up your citizenship, right? So, to take up any other citizenship anywhere in the world. But yes, Indian people do get an OCI. So, OCI is technically like having the citizenship of India. The India doesn't disown you, right? So, you can go back to India with a lot of respect with an OCI card, and your entire family gets the OCI card. So, yes, it is not a thing at all. Yes, Bibi, please send us. And if there is anybody else who has a question, we are happy to answer. I see. Okay. And yes, if you are somebody from a STEM field, green technology is also a great area to start. But if you are also somebody from the STEM field or you are interested in any kind of physics, we are experts. Shivam here on the call is an expert for anything to do with physics and STEM programs. Please feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to have an initial talk with you and understand. Um, so no, there is no Asian racism. No. I think it is so much about you, right? Racism starts when we are very weak. We are coming across as very weak people in these markets, right? So when you come here and you are focusing on building yourself up and not troubling the employer, not troubling the people around, you will settle in very, very well. So there is no racism, and at least in Germany for the last 7 years, I have not seen a single incidence where there was racism. I think Germans are equally scared to have people come into their home country and act like hooligans, right? Sometimes people do that. Many people have now. Um, been brought in from so many parts of the world, but there is a good cultural mix. So at any point of time, you will be connecting with, and Germany is very, very international. I'm living in Berlin, and I want to say this. Even in the classes that I'm teaching, I have around 30 students in the class, 25, 30 students, and none of them are a repeat nationality. They are all from different nationalities. So that should tell you the kind of cultural mix that you are going to see. Usually, when you enter countries where there is a lot of cultural mix, racism is not a topic which is you will not see it, right? Because somebody could be from Bulgaria, somebody could be from Romania, somebody, you might be offending somebody by saying something against another person. So it is totally not permitted. It's considered to be discrimination. If you are coming in from India, 100% I can tell you with a lot of guarantee. We have brought in specially abled people also. There is no discrimination at the time of application. So there is a zero tolerance for discrimination in this side of the world. You might come across an old, grumpy old person, who's 80 years old or 90 years old. Maybe you might face something, which you feel that was not the best of experiences. but you, how often will you actually connect with an 80-year-old or a 90-year-old? So that's not something that happens on a regular basis. So I hope I have been able to answer your questions. If you guys have any further questions, we are happy to answer. Please send us your expression of interest, or write to us. The email is here on the screen. Feel free to connect, and we'll be happy to connect with you. Shivam, you have want to add anything?
Um, this is a very legit question actually in the last, like Asian racism. Actually, racism is racism. And this was actually a point which I considered when I was choosing my university between US and between Europe.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, I mean, as per the data, if you see the data also, there you will see that the discrimination in Europe is substantially low. And I
Yeah.
have been here for like more than 2 years now, and I can vouch that I have never felt that kind of thing ever. Yes, Priya is right about old people. Like some people whom you come across, they are always grumpy, just looking at your skin color or something. And but the thing is that you are not their peers, or you will not meet them,
Yeah.
or you are not going to meet them on a regular basis. They are always grumpy to everyone, even their own children. So uh, we cannot say about that whether they are actually grumpy because of our race or something, but I have never felt that.
I think
And
what I have sensed here, Shivam, and I want to share my journey here. Uh, I see that Germans are more scared of speaking in English because they don't know English. Many
yeah,
old generation
true.
of German, they don't know English. And having now, because my husband is a physiotherapist and we have met very, very old Germans here. They are
Mm,
amazing people. I have not seen angry or grumpy.
mm,
Only maybe there could be a day when you are 80-year-old and you don't want to talk to anybody, right? It's possible. But I have seen that they are more scared because they don't know English
yeah,
as a language. That is a bigger fear they have. So you might have a fear that, oh my God, I don't know German, but they are more scared that they don't know English. So if you understand that, you will strike a balance, and you will be considerate for towards them, and they will be considerate towards you. They are also human beings. Um, but I think Germany, older people in Germany I've seen are very, very welcoming because they understand it's a very fast aging population, and they need young people to keep the country going. And that's why you will be accepted. They totally understand it. They have no problems whatsoever. Please, please go and do your research. If research is what you want to do, connect with us. We'll be happy to guide you. You will settle down really, really fast with the research in the EU. So thank you everyone from our side. I think that that is all we wanted to talk. And if there is any question you have, we are happy to answer. For those of you who had registered for the event and maybe you did not show up, we are going to send a recording for you all so you can have a look. And we'll be happy to get started with you if you're interested. Okay.